Greetings, world. Welcome to another MEN-talRollaDeK Live. Today's topic is mindset. We have some of my dearest friends on the panel. We have Queen Pache Gibson. We have
What's up,
Baba.
people?
Got Baba. He just fell asleep. You know how old people get. Um,
Well, you
we
know
got.
we gonna get you.
I know you laughing though. We got Queen Kenya is joining
Peace.
us.
Peace. Queen
Peace.
Kenya in this thing. What's happening?
Peace and blessings.
Yeah. Look who's peeking in the door.
With
Mindset, guys. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of mindset?
You asking as a group or just asking us as individuals?
Who want to go first?
The queens always go first because they want to give it to us.
Baba starting already. Mm-hmm. Who got it?
You got it.
Since I'm gonna pick our host, Pache.
Dang, man. I'm just playing. No, really, mindset is actually it's like a word that almost kind of a phrase that coins it pretty much defines itself. And to me, it's like your headspace. Where's your headspace? Who are you, within your mind? So it kind of gives you a description of how do you process things, where you are, where you are spiritually, where you are emotionally. But it just kind of processes your thought patterns. So it's one of those phrases that kind of coins itself and defines itself. So mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Kenya.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do. I just think that it can be looked at differently. But all of what she said is pretty much it. Um, Otherwise it could just be like an adjective, a descriptive,
Mm-hmm.
um, in the sense of a topic or a certain theory or a certain way of thinking, a culture. And there's different mindsets. I think there's a variety of mindsets. So all of what she said and specifically targeted at different topics and understanding. Yay.
Baba.
Yeah,
Yay.
I ain't see. I'm just
Yeah.
because when I think of mindset, first of
Hmm.
all, you're born with a brain. Your mind's given to you. So mine would go to programming. How are you programmed? What has been your life experiences that have had the most impact on the way you process your information and what becomes your reality, right? So
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
it depends on how you were raised, what you've been exposed to, what your life experiences. It's those things act as a programming that take key triggers in your mind that when certain things are said or done, you react a certain way. Your mindset affects your emotions, how you so your emotions also affect a lot of things, how your body react, you know.
Hmm.
So it would be what is your programming? Where did you get your programming from? And what we're going through now, we're going through right now a deprogramming, a reprogramming, because a lot of things we've been
Yeah.
through the years have been totally incorrect,
Yeah.
totally incorrect.
Hmm.
And because it's been totally incorrect, as Richard Marvel said, your programming is definitely out of sync. It's not in line with nature, and it's not in line with the character of the cosmos.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of our problem. We're trying to think like a right brain and a left brain society, and that's a major mess up.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Greetings, King. Welcome, Kimar.
Yeah.
What's up, brother? What's up,
Hey,
guys? How
welcome,
you guys doing?
welcome again, my
Greetings.
warrior brother. Yeah.
I'm good. How you guys
Oh,
doing?
okay.
Good.
So that's my take on it. And of course, like I said, I brag on my 74 years being around the planet. 35 years of misinformation. Now I've turned it all around and getting a better fix on how on my directions. And I say 35 because you're going through up experiences and this that. Now you get a chance to go back and analyze everything you've been taught and see if it fits into this circumference. Is it a square trying to be put into a round hole?
Mhm.
Um.
And I'm standing on the square today, y'all.
Okay. Here's another question for you guys. That was well stated on everyone's part. Knowing you create your own reality, right?
Mhm.
How do you change your mindset?
Change your information.
Yeah.
Okay, Baba blew us out the water with that. I need more details.
I think it's
Uh,
Oh man.
a process of going through. So not only do you change the information that you're receiving, but you also change how you respond to things. So you can totally rearrange and change your mindset and your perception about life.
mhm. And I totally agree with Queen. Uh, Also, just to kind of add to it, it also varies with your experiences, because your experiences add to that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kamar,
What's
I
up?
know, I know you. I
I'm
know you're.
listening.
I know
I'm
you're a
listening.
fight. I know you're a fighter, and you think nobody can beat you. But if I hear one more car drive
So
by
what are you trying to do?
in the live from the Brooklyn streets, I'm
So
gonna
what you
come
trying to
see
so what you trying to do? You want to fight?
mute your, nah, mute your mute your mic when you
I
which,
know you was gonna I know you was gonna say that.
Yeah.
come on, bro. You know how
Hold
Brooklyn
on,
is,
hold
bro.
on.
Uh,
You know you're gonna hear a gunshot next.
I'm about to mute it right now. Give me a second.
there you go.
Um, change the information, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since y'all don't want to break it down fully,
I mean,
but
I mean,
information is also eating. Information also have to do with food, right?
all
So
that.
is the
Hmm.
food a part of the information that needs to be changed to benefit our mindset as individuals?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Queen
Yeah.
K. Yeah, most definitely. What
Hmm.
does food? Where does food reside at the most and have the most impact on what in your mind?
Body.
Everything. Yep.
It,
Ah,
it, it,
okay.
it, we call it appetite. You change the appetite, you change the way you think.
Hmm.
That's everything. Because certain foods send certain chemicals or reaction to the brain, and the brain reacting in a certain manner because of the food that you eat.
Hmm.
Some
Chocolate,
changes.
yeah, you like that deep dark chocolate. What does chocolate do to the brain?
Oh, that's the sugar. It's kind of like coffee, like how coffee kind of
What
stifles.
does what does it stimulate in the body to cause it raise your what?
You
It
mean
raised. You talking about a dark chocolate or just milk chocolate?
I'm talking that dark chocolate, like that dark chocolate.
Okay. Well, I'm so mad at Baba for saying it like that. God dog, Baba. But it depends on it depends on the percentage. Now, if it's a high, let's just say if it's 86% cacao, that would be high in antioxidants because it makes it extremely bitter. Is that what you referring to?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, I missed the mark on that one.
It stimulates certain things in the body.
Okay.
It raises sexual drive in the body because most
Mm.
chocolate is loaded with bentonite. You know about bentonite, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know about
expound?
bentonite.
I don't expound. We're learning.
Bentonite is what they put in a lot of these chocolate, like Hershey chocolate, and all these chocolate. Look in the it says bentonite. Bentonite is a product that's put in chocolate that excites the sexual drive in the individual, animals, anything. Plus, it's used in making bombs. Yeah, it's called
Mm.
bentonite. And Hershey's is
Wow.
loaded. Hershey chocolate is loaded with bentonite. It causes certain things to explode, and it drives certain stimulants. It raises certain stimulant in the body, which
So is
pushes
that
you.
why you have such a box? I mean, boxes of chocolate are so popular during Valentine's Day.
And ain't it all about the sex?
That's right.
Yeah. The box of chocolate gonna be on tonight. Cause mama gonna do things she been doing all the year. We think.
Mm-mm.
Oh
Oh
man.
man.
Oh man. So it's not just the worms. It's something. It does. It does.
Remember, it's the programming, it's the time and the season of year, it's the program, it's the hype. That's the media hype. Now you're gonna get the
Right.
same thing you be getting all the year, but all of a sudden on Valentine's it's gonna be different. Come on, people.
Wow.
Hey man.
Unless you study Kama Sutra, then she might have some other moves or new tricks, some shame from the chandeliers or turn flips or something like that. Other than that, I'm gonna leave that alone. All right, y'all. Don't get me started.
I can't right
Hey,
now. Oh my
and
god.
his mindset is coming out. So keep it going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is
That's
a
that.
Keep it
huge
going.
mindset.
You're teaching the youngin something. Keep it going. Don't stop. Don't stop. Mm.
Oh man. That's good, Baba. That's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Baba Ya. Nah, let me see. You still got it.
I mean,
Oh man.
and like I said, it depends on your programming from your parents, your community, your
Mhm.
peers, or whatever. And then you got to watch the media hype, you know, and because it plays that feeds into your mind because you feed through your eyes, your mouth, your ears, your nose. But the big receptor is your touch, your skin, things you touch.
Mm.
It
But look,
feeds all that goes in, and it's
even look,
processed.
even look at it though. Like it's that I can agree with that. Because something simple as not using a spoon when you
Hmm.
eat
Right,
it and just feeling the food, it sends something to your mind. It's like you enjoy it more. You
licking your
know,
fingers
Mhm.
and all that.
yeah, and the spoon cuts off your connection between. It's kind of like wearing shoes, like
Sure.
not being able to touch the actual grass and so on. So, yeah. Um, but why do you beyond? All right, like we know the whys, but some of us are aware of these things, right? But yet we flow and stagnate our mindsets, and you can see it all around us in society. How do you clean up after you stagnate your mindset?
First of all, you got to decide that you want to walk alone because when you start cleaning up, you're going to start losing friends and associates because
Mhm.
you don't think the same way. So if you're not willing to walk alone and you try to change your mind and asking questions, you become a threat because they know then that you're no longer that puppet on the string. You done cut the string now. You ain't Pinocchio no more. You done got loose. See, and my experience is I was programmed from my mom, believe in God, go to church, don't do this, don't do that, all the don't do's. And I said, what the hell can I do? So I went to find some things
Mhm.
that I could do, which it didn't agree with her because of her mindset and her upbringing. But it fit my program fine. But then I
Mm.
find that a lot of folks said, well, you don't believe in God. I said, which one? There's what? I said, which one? And you hear a lot of that. God bless you. What God gonna bless me? How he gonna bless me and what he gonna bless me with? Because we talking about blood being offered and sacrificed. So who gonna put the blood? What God gonna give some blood to me? And don't tell me Jesus because he didn't have none.
Mhm.
That's not hard, don't it?
It's
Mhm.
not, man.
Because religion has played most folks today base their idea
Livelihood.
on the Bible. They
Mhm.
Mhm.
believe the Bible. So if your religion comes in a book that's orchestrated by a man, by a third man's hand, who you don't see it, but he said what God said, that's bad. The preacher said, and God told me to tell you. God ain't told, so God can't tell you nothing. You got eyes,
Right.
ears, mouth, and a heart, and you breathe.
Yeah.
Right.
So the preacher know more about God than you do, but God tell him what to tell you.
Mm-mm.
Hey, Kamara, you're muted. I don't know if you're saying something. I see your mouth moving. You forgot you're on mute.
Yeah, Baba, that's the way I grew up though. You know what I'm saying? To believe in God, to go to church, and be disciplined on that stuff. I'm not saying I'm knocking what you believe in, but you know, I do believe there is a God. But you don't have to believe what I believe, but I do believe there is a God, because if there wasn't a God, I wouldn't be here right now. You know what I'm saying? I believe that He carried me through, some of the stuff that I've been through in my life and my family. So I believe there is a God and there's only one God, and that's it. Without Him, there wouldn't be no earth, there wouldn't be no sun, there wouldn't be no
You know,
morning, no day, no night. So
Ah.
honestly,
Last,
there is
Exactly.
a God.
you know where I'm going.
So there is only
Uh-huh.
so there's
Okay,
only one God, you know what I'm saying?
okay, Kamari, got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
If you're the
Go
only
ahead.
man, why you worry about another man? Because he said, "Have no other God before me." So if you're only one, why would the term be "Have no other God before me"?
Mm-hmm.
If you're the only one,
Yeah,
why you worry about? If you're the only fighter in the ring, why worry about another
right.
fighter? If you
Why
don't,
would I worry about why would I worry about another fighter?
yeah, if you're the only one,
I mean, in
uh-uh,
what way? Because
stay with me.
what you mean?
If you're the
What you mean?
only individual in the world, why worry about another one?
I mean, you're right on that. I wouldn't have no worries because I'm the only one.
Right. So
That's absolutely true.
why would the Bible say, "Have no other God before me"? Don't make me
Because
gods in your mind.
because because what he's not saying to worry about another God. He's saying that you like these other people, not trying to knock any one religion, but they worshiping horse, they worshiping statue, they worshiping cows, animals, whatever you think might be a god. So he's saying, do not put anything before him
I
because
like
he's
that.
the only and one God. That's
Okay,
the only thing he's saying.
I got a question before you go, Baba.
okay.
Kamara, when's the last time you spoke to your mom?
To be honest with you, Jay, I've been speaking to my mom every day. We're
Okay.
trying to build that.
All
We're
right.
trying to build that relationship. I haven't seen her in 18 years, brother.
Okay. I got
Ah.
got another question for you.
Go ahead.
For you to who did you travel out of to get here?
My dad fought for me.
No. You're missing what I'm saying. You're missing what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Okay, for me, in order for me to get to this realm, I had to come through my mother.
Mm-hmm.
She bear the fruit that's sitting right here, which is Jermaine, right?
Right.
So
Right.
if you go back to um is that a nigga need a watermelon playing in the background?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Um so if, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Um hey, programs, mindsets,
Hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
flows.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you've read the Bible, right? That says he took rib from man and gave to woman.
Mm-mm.
But you read that, right, Kimar? Listen, right? But have you ever seen a baby? Have you ever seen a woman give birth to a child? No? I can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
No, I never seen it before.
Okay, I've seen it. So you know what that did for me? That bullshit
Yeah.
about a rib from me to create a woman is bullshit because the child traveled through my queen to get here. I
Right.
planted the
Hmm.
seed and she bear the fruit. That's making her what? She's the bearer of
Creative.
life.
Right.
She
Hmm.
brings life. So where did
Mm-hmm.
God come into play?
He says, "Be fruitful and multiply," and He give you the woman. That's what.
How
But
That's how He come into play.
but look, my queen gave birth to my son. Where was God?
Where was God? I mean, He's not gonna be right here, like on earth, and God is
Program.
in heaven. But what I'm saying though, God already gave us life already. He gave us everything we need. We got the woman.
My mom gave me life. Every man came out of a woman.
So who
And
gave you your? Hold on, Jay. I'm not cutting you. So who gave you your mom?
who gave me my mom?
Yeah.
Her mom gave her to me.
So who made those person?
A man and a woman came together, became one. The
Okay.
man planted the seed, the woman beareth the fruit. That's
So
why you
who
have.
made?
That's
What
why
I'm
you
saying
have.
is,
But
what I'm
wait,
saying is, who made human being?
human,
That's my
human
point.
King. If you go back and really study that word human being, in order for you to be a human being, you have to have animal DNA in you. We are original. We
I
are
know we're original,
original man.
but
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 look, that's why you have a great grandmother, a mother, and a great grandmother. If you keep going, it's gonna be great.
so
Don't take what I'm saying for it. You're gonna have to.
I'm
You're gonna
not. I'm not. I'm not. But what you saying? But what are you saying? We coming from animals now. That's what you're saying now.
listen. We play with
No.
word. We play with words we have no understanding about, and the deeper you go to find the
Right.
definition of these words and the original meaning of these words, you start to understand them. That's why there's an etymology dictionary, right? So
Correct.
the dictionary breaks down the original meaning of the word. So what I'm saying to you, you don't have to believe me. You eventually you're gonna have a child and you're gonna see it, because that was my Gregory Isaac moment. That was my wake up. That was my
Gregory
wake up
Isaac.
moment. Yeah, that was my wake up. That was my
Yeah.
wake up my wake up moment.
Oh man.
So I was heavy in it because my mom was like, yo, go to church and this and that. I was always against church. Every time I get into the church, I'll fall asleep because I feel like this is a
Yeah.
programming, right?
Right. Right.
Mhm.
But King, when I had my first son,
Mm-hmm.
it changed everything for me. Seeing the crowning of the head and how it came out and so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
it drew understanding to me, like when on the sixth day somebody voice said, let us create man in our own image. the
Uh,
only way
Mm-hmm.
the only way man can be created is
through
with
procreation.
a woman and a
Procreation.
man.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
listen, Jermaine. I don't knock you, bro. I'm not saying that's not how we're human created. But what I'm saying though, from my belief and the way I was growing up, from going to church and believing God and the Bible, I'm saying God made us and we create other humans being by He's saying, be fruitful and multiply. That's a woman and a man. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where my mama came from. That's where, I don't want to disrespect anyone, but that's where your mom came from, another human being. So that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I don't believe in this and believe in that. All I'm saying is God created a man and a woman, and He said, be fruitful and multiply, and that's have sex with a woman, and a woman have sex with a man, and you make other human beings, and the generation goes on and on and on. That's all I'm saying. But
So
some
you
people don't believe that.
I
Some people
see.
believe, oh, we were created by science and all of this BS, and I don't believe in all of that.
okay?
That's just
Mhm.
BS
You
to me.
really,
Science is life.
uh, 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 Kamar.
Mindset.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Wait,
Mhm.
let's think for a second. You
go
said
ahead.
that, you, and you learned about God through your mother, right?
Right.
And you went to church, right?
Yeah.
And your mother heard the preacher preach and told you the story about how God created man. But have you ever took time to examine those words to see if that word ever existed during the time of creation?
I mean, I never took the time to do it,
Why
but
not? Well, because you're basing your life on it. You remember your life's at stake. Why not check and make sure that you're on the right path? Because I'm hearing the
Mhm.
programming. I'm hearing the deep programming. And I was where you were one day as a child
right.
growing up. And if I didn't go to church, my mom would whip my ass, man. You gonna go.
Mhm.
You gonna go.
Uh,
I was
I
raised.
mean,
I was raised in the Pentecostal church. You
exactly. That's the same one I was raised into,
didn't go to the
Pentecostal
picture
church.
show. You didn't play sports. You didn't do nothing. Coming up, man, it was rough.
Yeah.
So I'm
Mhm.
hearing you, but I'm also remember I've been where you are, and I pissed my mama when I challenged her on some things that the Bible said that allegedly God said. God ain't saying it because He's always a third man saying. And in the beginning, God,
Mhm.
who was there doing the writing, heard God say and do all these things? Who was sitting there keeping the record? And what year did God create the world?
I mean, Baba,
Mm-hmm.
I understand what you're saying,
I'm not being
but
facetious. I'm only challenging your intellect. I know you're intelligent because you studied the art
Mhm.
of fighting. You study your opponent. You train
mhm,
hard. So your
right,
is to know your opponent and know his weaknesses, right? So
right,
right now, you and I have an intellectual bout. I'm challenging your intellect.
okay.
Where does God come from?
I mean, honestly, Baba, from me to you as a
I'm not
man,
being funny. Trust me. I'm not being funny. Pache,
I'm not, I
Yes.
don't know.
hey, well, why don't you do me a favor? Look at Habakkuk 3:3 in your Bible. Habakkuk 3:3. I want to show him something. You have to study this book in depth. And I've done it. And I ask people all the time, where does God come from?
Wait, she had it on deck. All she did
She
was
had
just
it.
lean the left
Hey,
hand. She
Hey,
leaned the left.
hey,
hey,
she always have
when
it on
Baba,
deck. You know that. You know that. She
when
always have it
Baba,
on deck.
No,
Baba,
You know that.
hey,
She
Baba don't be
always have it on
playing.
her.
Baba, what chapter?
Go to Habakkuk,
Uh
Old
huh.
Testament, the third chapter and the third verse. Now I ask him to tell me where God came from.
Okay.
God came from Teman,
God
and the
came from
whole.
Eden, and the Holy Ones came from Mount Paran.
Uh huh.
Where's Teman, Lamar? It's
I
in your
don't
Bible.
know.
It's in the Bible. God came from Teman, and the
Teammate.
Holy Ones came from Mount Paran. So they didn't come together. So now, where is Teman? What part of heaven is Teman in?
I would know, I would know that before.
That's what happened when you don't check your programming. Teman is
Mhm.
outside Arabia in the desert.
Right.
Mount Paran is in South America, near the
Mm.
Yucatan, near the Amazon River. And did you know that?
I
No,
didn't know that. I
no.
didn't know
You know
that.
why? Because we read, but we don't study the Bible. The Bible is the most popular book on the market, less read and less understood. I
It
spent
is.
70, 60 something years studying this book because I was like you. And I've been in many debates about this book. Do you know that there
All,
are Christian stories that's older than the Adam and Eve story? Much older than that?
I,
What's the oldest animal on the planet? Now if Adam named all the animals, what's the oldest mammal on the planet?
whew, I wouldn't know that, Baba. Whew, I wouldn't know
Don't
that.
ever go out there and tell folks what you believe if you can't back it up. If you believe,
Right.
you need to know it. Be like me. I don't believe
I,
nothing. I got to know it.
I haven't studied all of that, so I
Now,
would know.
if
All I'm saying is, for my intelligence, I just believe there is only God and only one God, and that's
okay,
it.
so
I'm,
supposing
you
God was a
know,
woman, would you believe that?
If you live
if
long
God
enough,
was a woman,
Yeah. If
you'll
God was
find
I
out.
would,
if
I,
if God is a
I wouldn't
female,
know. I wouldn't know if
you
God
would
was a woman
you wouldn't know.
because nothing in the Bible say God was a woman.
It don't.
But
You
you
sure?
just so you live your
Ah.
life and have
There's
your
nothing in the
beliefs
Let
Bible
based
me
say
upon
God
what
was
the
a
apologize.
woman.
Bible
You can't do
says.
that.
Hey, y'all
Say that
Okay.
cutting
again.
over. Y'all cutting over each other. Yeah,
I'm
y'all give
sorry.
each other an opportunity to
Okay.
speak at a
Now, if
time.
you say
The Bible never said God was a woman,
it don't,
or nope.
because
Huh.
God isn't in the Bible. God didn't write the Bible. Man wrote it and interpreted it. God ain't write in the Bible.
I mean, those are his words. The
You
man
sure?
just take
Mm-mm,
it
Are you
and put it in
sure?
his words.
Are you
Those
sure?
were his
mm-mm,
words.
Are you sure?
mm-mm.
Hey, I don't want. I go easy on my
No,
king,
no,
man.
easy,
No, no,
young
no,
No,
no, no. I
man.
like the challenge. I
No,
like the challenge. This is
no,
what I
he,
need. I like
okay,
the challenge. You know what
okay,
I'm
he's a young
saying?
man. And his artist, I've seen his thing. He works out. He's a fighter. He trains. He trains his body. But you got to train your mind too. Because the thing you say you believe in, what you're gonna be challenged on. And I asked you the
Mhm.
question: would you die saying that God wrote the Bible?
If I die and say God wrote the Bible, yes, because I
Can you
believe
prove
in
it?
God.
Well, because you believe don't make it be right. You know, because a cat out for kids and them making me biscuits. You know, come on,
Oh
man.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm old school, and I tell young like you all the time because you are our future. If you keep the programming, you're further facilitating white male supremacy because you believe in the same lie that was given us hundreds and thousands of years ago. In order for you
Mhm.
to change, you got to what? change your program. You got to change your mindset. And Queen
Yeah.
Kenya, I apologize. I don't mean to take this over, but here's a young man that's going to be a father. He's going to be he's going to be a father. He got to teach other young men. And if we go around believing this old allegory, this fairy tale was given us by some Mezarite writer that God said, but what was God's name? What is God's name?
It's not Yahweh.
It's not Yahweh. It ain't
Mm,
Yahweh. It ain't Jehovah. Jehovah Jireh.
mm-mm.
It ain't Jesus. So what is God's name?
God's name
God,
Yeah,
is God.
God.
Is God. That's the only way I know him as
I like that.
Lord.
What's the
That's the only way I know him as Lord Jesus Christ. That's the only way I know him
now we
as.
got another problem.
Amen.
Oh, there we go. That's
Okay,
another
can
one.
I say something, please?
Go ahead. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead,
Go
Queen.
ahead,
Go
Queen.
ahead, Queen.
What I want to say is this. We are talking about mindset, so we have to be mindful that everyone has their own mindset, even in the now, in the present moment. Each one of us has a different mindset, even though we may have understanding and education and intelligence about certain things, we all
Right.
have a different mindset. So, that being said, to this brother, what I'm going to say to you is, as you live your life from day to day, I believe the most important thing to do is to know thyself. Because if you don't know yourself, then you can't know where you came from.
Mm-hmm.
So if you focus on knowing yourself and you believe in God and you believe that you came from God and you came from the Creator, if you're focusing on getting to know yourself, then you should be focusing on getting to know God, which will bring you to a greater depth of research and seeking and getting to know things for yourself, not just because mama, grandmama, daddy, granddaddy told you. Know it for yourself, not
Mm-hmm.
because the preacher man told you, not because the brother on the corner told you. Know it for yourself. Seek truth for yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
can
I
believe whatever you want to believe right now because those are things that have been impressed upon you, imposed on you by other people's beliefs. But what do you believe?
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
That's
100%.
what I want you to take away from this within the mindset that you're in right now. What do you believe? Not what they told you. What do you believe? And how can you go forward growing within yourself to make sure that you're on the right path for self? Not for mama, not for daddy, not for your children, not for you, because you are accountable for your soul and your life until you bring forth another.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And even in that bringing forth another, that's a gift. That's a given to seeds, and children are a gift and given to us. They don't belong to us. We're just helping them along in their journey. So,
Right.
as your fathers, mothers, grandfathers, elders, as they should have been helping you along in your journey, unfortunately, for a lot of brown people like ourselves, we haven't been helped along. We just been programmed along, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
They just gave us what somebody else gave them instead of their authentic true selves because they didn't even know to have an authentic true self. So today, to you, within the mindset that you have, all I'm asking you is to seek greater. Seek within yourself. Seek truth for yourself. Don't just live your life based upon what people tell you. Seek it for yourself. If you're going to believe in that Bible, know it. Search it. Learn it. Get the history on it.
True.
Because I could
I
tell
agree.
you all day that those are not the words of God. But if you're in the mindset of believing that it is, there's nothing I can do to change that. You have to change that for yourself. And the only way that's going to change is if you seek it and you find it for yourself. There's a lot of great truth within the Bible. The word says, if you seek with all your heart, then it will be found. I'm paraphrasing because I don't know all of it heart by heart. But that's in the book of Jeremiah. I know enough. If you seek it out, you're going to find truth.
True. If you seek, you shall find, right?
Exactly.
That's true. I agree 100% with you.
So seek for
Investigate
yourself.
everything. Yeah. Yeah. And just to, investigate everything. Um, don't don't continue, this right here is a challenging point for you, because what it's allowing you to do is to kind of see what it is that you've been told and what you've regurgitated over the years, because it's been told to you. And just like Queen was saying, if that is your belief, that's fine, but investigate it. Don't just take it for what it is, because as you dig deeper and you dig deeper within yourself, things will
Right.
start changing. Your mindset will change, because you'll start finding contradictions in the Bible and things like that, that's going to prompt you to question. And when
Mm,
those questions come up, investigate it. I mean, you don't
right.
even have to leave out of Genesis,
Right.
to see the contradiction. So I challenge you to just read Genesis on your own in a King James Version Bible, and just read Genesis, and you would find a contradiction. And when you get to that point of finding contradictions, study it. Ask somebody that's an elder that can give you answers. Baba can give you answers. Jermaine can give you answers. I myself, Queen, can give you answers. So study
Right.
and
Right.
research for yourself. Don't, Baba says it all the time. Don't take my word for it. Don't take his word. Don't take Jermaine's. Don't take Queen's word for it. If you study for yourself, then you can get it for yourself. And then now that word that you studied will be embedded in your spirit, and it's going to
Mm.
prompt questions. And you just ask the right people to guide you. But right now, our our position right now is not to sway you one way or the other, but what we
Exactly.
are encouraging you to do is to search within yourself and go further than what you've been told and what you've
Right.
been taught. That's what we're
Mm.
Right.
challenging you on. Yeah.
Right. I agree with you 100%.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll definitely do that.
I'm
So,
Yeah.
I needed this.
Well, I challenge you
Yeah.
because you're a young man, and I've been where you've been, and I started out in the ministry when I was like 17 years old, and I preached and pastored the church. And not till I was awakened to challenge everything I've been taught, when I found out that it was wrong. When I studied linguistics, timeline, chronology, and etymology of words, one of the worst languages in the world is the English language, so bastardized. And a lot of things we say actually demonizes our spirit because we have not done the research. Now, I'm not going to apologize for challenging you, because if you never challenge what you believe, you never check and make sure you know what you're talking about. If you never
Hmm.
Right.
Exactly.
in the ring or boxing, you know how good you are, right? You can say
Right.
I'm the best until somebody step in the ring and knock you out in the first punch. Then are you still the best? No, no, all
Hmm.
you're doing, you don't know how good you are until you test it. And my job as an elder
Right.
True.
is to test your talent and your knowledge, not to try
Right.
to discourage you. I'm encouraging you by challenging you, because you've never been challenged like that or asked that question, have you? Whoever asked you, where
Right.
did God come from? Because you assume God come from here, but you read in the Bible what you read, it came from Teman. The God of Yahweh is a mountain deity. Look up
Exactly.
Michael
Hmm.
Jordan. Michael Jordan had a book called the 2,400 Gods in the Bible. There's another book called 30,000 God Before Jehovah. The word God is a generic term given by the Gothic people in the late medieval English. It didn't exist in ancient times. There was no word for
Hmm.
Hmm.
God in ancient times until the Gothic people got it. I think you do the etymology on the word God. Remember, do etymology. You say, I believe. What does believe mean?
Right.
It means to accept something as truth without absolute proof. So when you said I believe,
Mm.
oh, I knew I had you then, because you don't know, you're assuming that you know.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But when it comes to that ring, you fight lightweight. I mean, what's your what do you fight under when you box?
145.
Okay, and what that a lightweight, middleweight, whatever you call it.
Is it
It's
featherweight?
a featherweight. Yeah.
Okay,
And
Yeah.
so
Hmm.
would you get in the ring with a heavyweight?
absolutely not. That's not my weight class.
Okay, so see what I'm saying? So I'm challenging you to know. Say, look, you're gonna get in the ring, but one day you're gonna meet a heavyweight, you might be at a bar, you meet out with your lady, and you gotta show some
That
protection.
that that yeah. That's a different story though.
I understand, but you got
I have to protect myself. But
you
in the ring,
I know.
that person is trained just as me, so he can hurt me more than a person that who hasn't trained.
So what I'm telling you
So
now is, when I came to you, I came like a heavyweight because to challenge what you say you knew about the Bible that you believed in. Not
right.
to attack you, but I want you to start doing the research. I want you to think critical. We need critical thinkers. We all say, "What's programming?" We all been programmed, but you got to change. You got to change the data that's in your computer, in your mind. Okay,
Hmm.
change the hard drive, and don't take everything for concrete back. Always leave room for research. Always do.
Right.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
and I appreciate you, brother. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't tell you them damn thing. But I've been there, and get what? I got my feelings hurt by a dude, a crackhead, on the corner one day. I
A
thought I was
crackhead? A crackhead? How's that?
a crack, because that nigga knew more of the Bible than I did.
Damn.
He came, he gave me some stuff that I had never heard of. He said he's
Yeah.
read your book, fool. Read him. See it, see it, see it. I couldn't deny it.
Come on, fool. Read it.
Yeah,
Read
come
it,
on, fool.
fool.
Yeah, a crackhead. I mean,
Oh man.
crackhead, man.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Look, I had a little crack dude. The first thing he told me, I said,
Damn.
he gonna say Jesus was a bastard. I was like, whoa, that was random. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
you know, but I mean that's real. Me and Baba. Baba told me about the whole story with Jesus and Mary, and the story.
Yeah.
Because it is just a
Exactly.
story. But it's a lot of depth in what man wrote. So that's why Bob is saying search it for yourself. He's going to challenge you. You got a heavyweight coming at you, and what he's doing is challenging you on what you said you believe in. And what
Right.
I challenge you to download the etymology dictionary, to have it on your phone, because so when you come across these words that you say, like the word bless, like the word God, search those out so you could see what that is. So you could, because if you study the etymology of the word, it would change your mindset of what you've been regurgitating, what has been taught to you.
Right.
So yeah, yeah,
Mm.
That's
Keep going, guys.
absolutely true.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Talking about the mindset, and I see,
Oh, what she say?
I see Rick.
That's a lot. It's a lot. I want to
Go
say
ahead,
so much,
yeah,
but
come
it's
on,
just
man.
Uh-huh.
like it's a lot.
Nah,
Go ahead,
go. Nah,
sis. Go ahead.
nah, go ahead. Nah, go ahead, Queen. Say what you gotta say.
When I begin to wake up, this is what I call it. I call it waking up out of the
Hmm.
sleep and the slumber. When I began to wake up, I always had questions since I was a kid. I grew up in churches all my life, Methodist, Baptist, AME Zion. But while I was growing up in these churches, I always had questions because I never agreed with nothing they said. I just didn't understand it. It didn't make sense to me.
Right.
And as a child, I was always told to be quiet, stay in a child's place, don't ask questions, you don't question God, this, that, and the third.
Ooh.
And
Hmm.
so,
Wow.
because I was
Mm,
told those things, it made me angry and it made me want to find out the truth that I felt was the truth even more because I was like, if it wasn't no secret to whatever this is or the questions I'm asking, they wouldn't be trying to shut me down so bad. As a
right.
child,
Hmm.
I thought like this. So I started looking and searching for myself. By the time I was 16, I was looking into different religions. I was studying Buddhism, I was studying Hinduism and Muslim, the Nation of Islam, and Rastafarianism. I was studying everything by the time I was 16 because I wanted to know the truth. I started looking for
Hmm.
myself.
Right.
And what I found was that there was similarities in a whole lot of religions. There's one particular story or one particular baseline. And I said, if that is the case, then why does everyone pit one against the other? Religion is all about separation. Your God better than my God. This set is better than this set. It's like games.
Mm,
And so within
Yeah.
Christianity, because that's where I was, they would always be preaching and saying, you got to bring people forth and get them saved and have them with the plan of salvation. I was like, why are we saving them? What are we saving them from? Because they're born into sin. Well, what is sin? People can't explain stuff to me. When you can't explain things to me, I have a problem with it.
yeah.
Hmm.
So because I continued to ask questions that wasn't getting answered, I
Mm-hmm.
continued to have to search and seek and look for myself.
Hmm.
Right.
And what I began to find out was that a lot of my beliefs in the truths that was told to me and sold to me, and I say sold because I only believed it because of where it came from, which was my parents. Who's not going
Yeah.
to believe their parents?
Mm-hmm.
So once I got to that place, and I started looking deeper, and I was like, this, it never really resonated with me. Something was always different about me. I wanted to do different things than people in the church do. They would talk about
Mm-hmm.
witchcraft and people looking a certain kind of way. If they do this, then they're witches. If they do that, then they're this and they're that. And all that stuff they was talking about was the stuff that I was doing at home in my house. So I was like, so I'm a heathen?
Oh,
I'm a witch
Right.
now?
oh man.
That's me? That can't possibly
Uh,
be me when I'd have been sitting up in y'all religious sector all this time. You talking about me,
yeah.
Right.
so now I'm demon possessed. No, I think not.
Oh,
Queen, let me ask you, Queen, let me ask you a question. What was it that was pivotal that made you search even more? Because usually, because I can remember my moment. What was the thing? Was it something that you read, or what was it that
I
it
think
clicked
it
instantly
really
because you were
was
16?
me. It was me coming into the understanding of my spiritual gifts. See, everybody is magical. Everybody has spiritual gifts. This is my belief
Mm-hmm.
now. This is me talking. Everybody
Yeah.
is magical. Everybody has spiritual gifts. It's about whether you tapping into the frequency, not if you can display that gift. So
Mm-hmm.
realize what my gifts are. I'm clairvoyant. I can see. I can read back of my hand. I could look at them and see them up and down, every which way forward. When I
mm,
realized that about myself, and then, like I said, I started hearing these people talking about people who was like psychics and they do this and that. They're not of
Oh.
God. And I'm like, well, you talking about me. I don't care what you call it. I don't care what name you put the label on it. What they
mm.
Mm-hmm.
do in the essence of their gift, that's what you're talking about me. That's what I do. So I'm evil. So I'm demon possessed just because I'm capable and able to do these things. That pissed me off. And that's
Yeah.
what
Oh,
made me start looking deeper. It's like, why does people who have these gifts are looked upon as are demonized? Why?
I
Because they
guess.
can have knowledge about things. But you have a
I,
whole line of foretelling and prophecy and prophetic stuff like that in the Bible.
I guess
Like, but
because
you wanna call these other people out? Why? Because they're not operating in that kind of gift within your sector. That's still separation. It's still like my set against your set.
You mean the systematic programming, basically.
yeah.
Right.
And
I,
and let me show you what the questions I used to ask. I used to piss people off. So I used to ask my mom, I'm like, who are they talking to on, I think it's the fifth day, because the 6 days when they created Adam and Eve, he created Adam and Eve, right? Yeah, don't quote me on that. But on the fifth day, he said, let us create man in our own image. I was like, who is he talking about? Who is he talking to? He's like,
Right.
oh, he's talking to the
Mm.
angel. I'm like, that don't make no sense.
No.
How is he talking
Mm-hmm.
to
No.
the angel? Because I'm like, if I want to create somebody in my image, I never used to say it to her. I'm like, if I want to create somebody in my image, I'll get a woman,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I started asking the like from the Noah's Ark, like they just seem like parables, right? And then one of the things people still get mad up to this day because I ask them this question or I make a statement. I'm like, yo, Mary is the first cheater, right? I'm like, they were
Mm.
like,
what?
what? What you
What?
mean,
Yeah, I just say
bro?
what.
Was she okay? Did she have a husband?
No, not no.
As it
So
was told,
it was it
you
was
talking
As it
about
was
the
told,
Mary and
yeah.
Look
Joseph?
out! Look out! Look
Is
yeah,
that
out!
yeah,
Mary?
yeah. She had a husband, right? It was Joseph. How did she get impregnated by God? That's another man.
By the Spirit of God, the
No,
Bible
that's a
is saying.
man. She had to get pregnant by another man.
She did.
Yes.
Uh,
And
So they would,
within that story, with having the understanding that we have,
hmm
that's what happened. She did.
yeah.
Why?
So
Because man is understood to be God. Man is God. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, that whole thing, that like that scripture verse that you were saying when God said, let us make them in the image of us. Like my whole belief about that statement right there is totally like in the cosmos. Because I believe that a lot of those people and words that were spoken in that text was not specifically like people rephrasing what God said or speaking for God because, okay, here's God's thoughts, let me put them out. No, I think it was people who they looked upon as deities and they were gods and they were the ones that were writing stuff and they put it together. And then
Hmm.
people just listened and went along with the stuff because they were the gods.
And
Not that's how I see it.
truth, there's nothing wrong or incorrect with what you just saying. And then going through the midst of everything, right? And questioning that, I mean, me and my mom used to bump heads. We had a heated discussion about this. Then came out of nowhere, my frequency put me on the level of Bobby Hemmett.
Mm,
Hmm.
Damn, it's like when the student is ready, the teacher
Real
appears.
talk.
exactly.
And I
Exactly.
and Bobby started like, and then I started going into the occult lectures and so on and so forth. And then like, wait, light came from darkness. So why am I
Mm-hmm.
scared of the darkness? And in order to be balanced, you got to go back to the darkness and you have to study death. But in the church, they tell you to be a
To stay
scared,
away from the
stay
dead.
away from
Hmm.
death.
Stay away
So
from death.
I mean,
everything these people is telling you to stay away
It's
from is
all the
what you
things that's
need
gonna
to
make you
draw
stronger.
to because it's going to benefit you and build your
Exactly.
balance.
Right.
but
Like,
who
And
want to
King
die,
also,
Jermaine? No one's want to
yeah.
die. No one want to
And
die.
but death is not death, King.
Exactly.
it's
Death is like
transition.
It's yeah,
death is like rebirth,
rebirth.
King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't.
Transition, transition to what?
King, we're all believing that we're on a third dimension right now, right?
I know,
And
I know.
we're
I don't want to.
not we're
Can I
not solid.
can
We're
I
not solid
interject?
matter. We're not solid matter. We are vibrational.
Okay.
We
I'm
Can I
not
see
saying,
go
I'm not
ahead.
saying I'm afraid of death. I'm just saying transfer to what? When you're
You're
dead, that's
Listen,
it. That's
let
just.
me,
can I
King, let
answer
me
that?
ask you something. Uh, uh, huh?
Can I answer that?
Go ahead,
Okay,
Bob.
go ahead,
See,
Baba.
and I appreciate young man believes in the Bible. You can only give him Bible. So give me Psalms 104, verse 29 and verse 30 and read it.
Hold
Now,
on, hold
Yeah.
on, Baba. Hold on, hold on.
He said he
oh
only believes
man.
in
Oh man, you have
Oh,
it.
Okay,
this
you said 104, Baba.
Psalms 104,
Oh my
verse
Got it.
god.
29 and verse 30.
Verse
this what it
29
this what y'all
and verse
mean.
30.
This
All
what y'all
right,
mean when y'all said meet them where
Psalms
they at.
104, verse
got it.
29 and verse 30.
Go
All
ahead.
right, I got it. Here we
Okay?
go. Psalms 104:29 says, Thou hidest thy face, they are troubled. Thou taketh away their breath, they die, and return to their dust.
Mhm.
The
Mm-hmm.
sender forth thy spirit, the sendest, thou sendest forth thy spirit, they are created, and thou renewest the face of the earth.
You go and you come right back where you left from to do it all over again. There's no heaven and no hell to go to. Also in
Mm.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 1, Ecclesiastes 17 and 19, it says, the spirit returns to the giver and the body goes to the dust from which it came. There's no heaven or hell to go to. That's taught through Indo-European for scare tactic and fear. Fear
Yes.
is the greatest programmer to program a man's mind. Like my boy
Mm-hmm.
Rich say, what fear and what's the other word? What's another word he used? Pleasure. Okay,
Mhm.
so they program you with fear. Right now, the whole country running on fear. We're scared of dying from corona. Corona's killing everybody. They're down by 1,000. But remember,
Yeah.
that's the only portal that you can use to translate out of to come back. It comes through the womb. That's the entry, and transformation of death is the exit to return back. And why do you believe in reincarnation? You see, you believe Jesus died and returned off the cross. I believe in the resurrection. So what about your resurrection?
Mm.
You just spirit, you just
Mhm.
energy. It's just energy. Ecclesiastes 12 and 1 tell you that you turn back to the spirit that giveth. Now, who gave you the spirit? In the Hebrew text, the word is ruach, means female energy, breath.
Your
Exactly.
mother.
Your mother.
Mhm.
You live from that umbilical cord. Everything you need was in that heaven. That was the heaven you was in, right there, that darkness, that water you
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
came out of, that
Mm.
creativeness that you came from. That's the only God you're gonna ever know is that one. Got a question for you. How old is the blood in your body?
Ooh,
Mm.
that's a good one.
How old the blood is in my body?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm 29 years old, so that's the
So
oldest
how
my
can I
blood.
take your blood and go back 15 and 18 and 20 generations and tell me what your blood is telling you? And why would that blood carry back to the God that created you? It carried you back to your mother. It should carry back because God gave it all carry back to God, right? If I do the research on that blood test,
Hmm.
I go back in the mitochondrial DNA and go all the way back to the origin of you. It's gonna be your mother. That's the only God you're gonna know. And that's a lifeline. And that's no joke. You carry it to the bank. And I'm out of here.
Oh man.
And look, King, let me tell you, you were saying something earlier. You had quoted, you said, God said, be fruitful and multiply, right?
Right.
Mm.
That's in Genesis 1. So do you
Right.
know that that was Adam's first wife? Because in Genesis 2, that's when Eve came along. So just from Genesis 1 to 2, it
Hmm.
switched. So when you look at it, so next time you get a chance, I want you to Google who was Adam's first wife,
Okay.
because it was a woman that was in
You can do
Genesis
that
1.
now, man. You got Google it
Mm.
now. So I can see your face. Google so I can see your face.
So
All
Google,
right, Baba.
Google that.
I'll Google it, Baba. Don't,
I
I'll
love
Google
you.
it. Don't worry.
No, I love you, man. I'm mad
I
because I
feel
love
you.
you. We talk sometimes,
Oh man.
but I want you to do it because I want to see your face when you look at it and say, "What?"
yeah,
and
yeah,
and so it comes back to mindset, and it
exactly.
seems not only the program of our mindset is our own parents,
Hmm.
right, but it's
Hmm.
Mhm.
also society. It's also the books
Hmm.
that we read that we believe to be fact that's written by somebody else.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Kimar, just in case you never noticed, every single Bible you read has a copyright.
Hmm.
Copyright.
Yes, how can somebody that's not here and within the heavens have a copyright to a book?
I'm sorry.
Man,
If that ain't then I was saving that for later. But go ahead, you don't.
man, that's society, man. That's
Exactly.
us. That's society.
So in order to have a
Hmm.
copyright, right, you
Hmm.
have
Hmm.
to. Matter of fact, let's go forward to the say patent. It's patented, right? In order to have
Right.
a patent, there has to
Just like
be
the
a creator.
coronavirus.
There has to be a
Hmm.
it has
Just
to
like
be
the
a
Yo,
creator.
coronavirus. That's
you
right.
guys love this Corona, huh? You guys love this Corona, man.
No, Corona actually, she's right. Corona does have a patent. And
It has a
Yes, it
patent.
does.
who
Yes,
has
it
the
does.
stakes to the patent?
Government.
Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates.
Mhm.
That's
Oh
right.
man.
And a lot more patents for plenty of the diseases. And
All these diseases. Yeah.
they're trying to say it's created from nature. No,
Nah.
It's not.
nature doesn't create anything artificial.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and that's nature
They
doesn't make any mistakes either.
Exactly.
Exactly,
nah.
because nature is also fighting this crap.
Mhm.
Yes,
Hmm.
You know,
hurricanes in here.
Yes, she is.
King
They created all these nasty stuff, man. Like,
King,
you know what I'm saying?
a book. That's why I
He
say
also
people.
created the book.
That's why people say. That's why people
Hmm.
say, "Oh, people be like, this is facts," and I laugh at them in my head because if it's secondhand information, it's not fact.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Somebody wrote it, it's not fact.
I see what
Mhm.
you're saying.
It's an
That's true.
opinion. It's
That's
an
true. That's
opinion.
true. That's true.
So they
Hmm.
play with a lot of things, and then you have the television that pretty much we're gonna instill fear in them. So let's take out every
Mhm.
first sentence that somebody says bad, and we keep running it back. You know how they
Mm.
say it
Mhm.
takes 10,000 hours for you to become a master of something. Picture you seeing things for 10,000 hours straight. You go to sleep, you're dwelling on it. You wake up, you're still dwelling on it. That's
Mhm.
instill fear. That's instilling fear in you, you
Mhm.
Right.
know? So like even
Hmm.
now, like I used to walk outside and be scared of the cops because it'd be like, oh, cops are killing like
Right.
they killing so-called black people, so on and so forth. I'm not gonna take away from it and saying, yeah, there is some unjust things that happen to us with cops, right? But you got to go
Right.
back and look at the source, right? How does it start? How do they have the right to do what they're doing, right? Why the word black don't owe no accountability in law, and
Yeah,
why
I
is
gotta.
black
Yeah.
colorless, and so on and so forth. So we got to go way back, bro. Like all of these things are written into place.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mhm.
know, who was the
That's
police
fine.
in the game?
That's
Alphabet
truth.
Boys, right? They were supposed to be. Look at this. This is how funny
For
this
real.
is. The Alphabet Boys are people that used to round up so-called slaves, indigent servants, right? Round them up. They would catch them when they run away, right? So who's the slave now? Why is the cops catching us and killing us? Are we still
Still
slaves?
enslaved. Still
No.
enslaved.
The whole world.
Mentally,
Still
I would
enslaved.
say.
You got a birth certificate, a social security card, and a driver's license. That means you an indicted servant, child of cattle slavery. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I heard him say something a while ago, and I'm a stable book because it's the book you believe in. In Proverbs 8:22, it says, "And the Lord possessed me for the beginning of His ways before the earth was." Who was that talking? Proverbs 8, verse 22, Pastor.
Baba, you know you be murdering my name, huh?
Well, look at Shay,
He loves the name. He loves the name.
Passover.
He said passion.
Pasha.
You heard that, huh? Okay,
Love
what
the
did you say?
name.
You said 8 and 22, Baba?
Yeah,
Passion
Proverbs 8,
fruit.
verse 22. But read verse 1 to see who's talking in that verse, then read verse
Hmm.
22.
Okay. It says, doth not wisdom cry and understanding put forth her voice?
Her voice. Now go to verse 22. Let's see who's talking.
Okay. It says, the Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way before his works of old. I was set upon from everlasting from the beginning, or ever the earth was. When there
Wow.
were no Whenever there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there was no fountains abounding with water, before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth.
Keep going.
While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the earth, of the depth,
Keep
when he
going.
established the clouds above, when he strengthened the fountains of the deep, when he gave to the sea his decree
Mhm.
that the waters should not pass his commandment, when he
Keep going.
appointed the fountains and the earth, then I was by him as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him.
I was daily his delight. And it ain't the same. So who is that, brother? Who is
Who
wisdom?
is who is
Who is
wisdom?
Yeah, who was that her that was there before? Now he didn't. Now, the Lord didn't have her. They got together there, and she was the one that was doing the guiding wherever anything was made. So that let us make man. Was he talking to her?
Yeah.
Yeah, there he is. There she is.
Mm,
Yeah. He's talking to her. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So
The
in
book.
order
So you
to
got to use
strengthen
the
us,
book that he
in
believed in to show him where you might need to check it. That's like talking
Mhm.
to a Muslim. You say that
Mm.
God is no. You say that God is no respected person, right? In the Bible. Well, why does Amos
Mm.
3:1 say the same thing that Surah 5:43 say the same thing in the Muslim Bible. The Muslim Bible don't
Mm.
say, "Oh Muslim," it says, "Oh children of Israel, I chose you above all nations." So why the Muslims say they are chosen when they Bible say that Israel is chosen?
Right.
Amos 3:1 say, "No children of Israel, I chose you above all nations to be my special people." And the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah 5, the cow, verse 43 says, "Oh, children of Israel, I chose you above all nations to be my special people." So is God a Muslim or is he a Christian?
Hmm.
Is he Hebrew Israelite? I
There
mean,
is no religion for
help
God.
me out.
so
God has no religion.
so
No, we
yeah.
say that, but like you said a while ago, they find who God is the best, but they all say the same, serving the same God. We got a problem. We got a jihad, and the devil. tell you something. You better check Bobby Hemming out because Bobby tell you who it is. The real God is. I'm gonna leave it like that.
And they go even further and say, "Oh, you're a devil worshiper." But if you pay attention to it, why would a
Mm.
God of creation be a jealous God?
Right.
Right? And
Mhm.
what's his issue with the so-called devil?
I
Right?
mean,
Are you ever pay attention to it? Like you got to look, and why isn't certain parts of the Bible that Jesus and the devil is the same thing? And the thing that I can't get for my dear
whoa,
life, why
whoa,
Christian believe that
whoa.
God and Jesus
Are the same.
are the same?
Right. That part.
You're saying, "Whoa, bro, it's the truth." Just saying. Like
Oh
mind and
man,
mindset, because my kids never came out of their mom with a Bible attached to their ass. So this
Right.
program or programming has to come from somewhere, right? And I
yeah.
bet you didn't even know that the actual church is actually structured like the slave masters house. Like everybody that plays a part in it, like the pastor was the good negro that the slave master used to speak
Mm-hmm.
to.
The house nigga.
Yeah, he was the house
Mhm.
nigga.
There
That
you
the
go.
slave master would
Man,
the
why
slave
you
the slave.
damn? I
No,
mean,
I'm
damn, you
telling
guys are
I'm
going
telling
hard on the
no.
preachers.
I'm telling you what it
Damn,
is the house nigga.
damn, you
So
guys.
so the master used to sit back and watch the house nigga work because
Right.
because the best way to program the people, you find a house
Is through
nigga
the
that
house
looks
nigga.
like you. He
Exactly.
looks
Mhm.
like you. That's where the pastor comes into play, and like the symbology with the white gloves and so on and so forth. King, this thing goes so far, man.
It's deep.
And what we fail to understand, like let me tell you what it is. Like I be telling Pache, like I have a gift, and I used to earlier in my childhood. You can ask my mom. I could call her and you let her speak. My mom used to be so scared to go anywhere with me at night. This is her story. I'm quoting her. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Why are you scared? She said she used to walk with me and I will point out every spirit that's walking among us. Right.
Hmm.
Wow.
And, I
Mhm.
laughed about it. But now in my adult state, I can sense things around me. I even know when people are lying to me. I just sit
Mm-hmm.
Right.
back and I laugh about it because I can feel these things. And Baba just met me and he was like, dude, your vibration is off the charts.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And then when I start listening to myself, I started flowing correctly.
Mm-hmm.
You know that voice in your head you always used to fight with, like it tells you to go left and you go right instead, but you still end up left.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can talk about the Bible too. Remember when Jonah was supposed to go do something and he didn't want to go do it
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
till he eventually got swallowed up and end up where he's supposed to. That's what your true self do to you. And
That's faith, right?
we
They
try
call we
to
call that faith, right?
I don't think it's faith.
Nah, that's
No,
not
that's
faith.
not faith.
That's not
Nah.
faith.
That's not faith.
Uh-uh.
I look at it like this. I look at it like this. Um, you cannot look outside of yourself
For the
for
answer.
for something that's inward.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't matter. It's five of us on this panel right now, and we're the creators of our own experience. And it doesn't matter how. See, that's them Brooklyn streets. Um,
Leave my Brooklyn streets out of
Bro,
this,
home is
man.
home,
Come
bro. I
on,
love, bro. I
bro,
love, bro. Home is home.
bro,
I love, I
bro.
love home, bro. I love home, but
Leave my Brooklyn out of this,
I
bro.
like, I like, I like peace and quiet, B. Um, so,
Nah, I know. Continue, Jay. Go ahead.
so we have to stop looking outside of ourselves because you know I don't care if nobody believes me. I can actually sit here and say certain things and watch it manifest. Like I even like listening to Bobby Hemmett. I
Yes.
started playing around with the rain. Like,
Yes.
yo, y'all know I got work to do. Y'all need to shut this off. When start raining when I'm going home. And boom, the rain stops.
Yes.
Mhm.
Nobody is you for a reason. You have your own spiritual energy. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
We all are a part of source,
True.
but we have our
Mm.
own unique fulfillment that we have to fulfill within this
That's
Gods
right.
dimension.
and goddesses.
And we time
Mhm.
travel a lot and we don't pay attention to it. Like when you
Yes.
sleep, you lucid dreams and so on and
Mm-hmm.
so forth. And then you have your
Mhm.
ancestors coming back and talking to you. King, we are
Yeah.
much
Mhm.
deeper than what the world actually have us as. We're
Yeah.
original. There is
Black
no,
is King shows all of that.
there is
Just
no,
saying.
Yeah,
FYI.
yeah, what you said?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Don't
I
slow your
said
tongue.
Black is King by Beyonce shows all of that. Just saying.
they're
FYI.
they're killing her right now. Like ignorant people that don't understand spirituality is killing her right now.
Yeah. But that
Wow.
everything that you just said, all of that is shown in representation in the film that she put out. Literally. Everything that you just said. It's just music behind it, but it tells the story. It's there.
Wow.
You
And
know,
is that's on Disney, right?
Yeah. And one of the songs that she put with the soundtrack is called Find Your Way Back. And it's
Mm.
so powerful. The whole thing is so powerful. You can watch it, you begin to watch and you listen, but you can just feel the spirit moving while you're watching it. And I think a lot of people are frustrated because they don't understand. One, they're ignorant, they don't have that understanding, but I think it makes them uncomfortable in their own belief because
Yeah.
they can feel the
Mhm.
spirit, that there's no way that you
Mhm.
can watch that and not feel it. And so for I was joking around when I said to someone, for you to be able to do that would make you demonic. So
Oh man.
I'm just saying that there's this song on there. It's called Find Your Way Back. And the essence of it really is just like I was saying earlier. And just like Jermaine just said, you have to look within yourself. There's no way for you to find the answers
Everything.
looking outside of yourself.
Uh-uh.
The answers are within you. And your true self is the one that guides you through this life. We think that it's things that are outside of us, but in essence, it's our soul, it's our spirit that's guiding us because our soul spirit already knows the truth. We're just trying to figure this
Mhm.
out.
There you
hey
But
go.
our higher
Baba,
self already knows.
Yes,
And
sir.
so
Yeah.
we have to shake off what we've been told, what we've been taught, what we see, what's all around us, what's been thrown in our face all the time. We have to shake all that off
Been tasting.
and really go within ourselves and see the truth. And for me, one of the best times to do that is when I'm going to sleep. When it's like that's what I like when Jermaine said about lucid dreaming, that in between state, right in between, right when you falling asleep and you almost there, but you're not quite there. That's the best place to go in, right there.
Yeah, that's it.
You
That's
can
it.
see a lot of
Mm.
stuff right there. If you just get quiet long enough, you start
Yeah.
seeing some
and
stuff. You if you want to know, just ask the questions. Ask yourself questions. Your spirit will guide you to the truth.
you ever
There
People
you
be so
go.
notice?
scared to talk to
Yeah.
themselves. Talk to yourself.
But peep this.
I talk I talk to myself.
Peep,
I I talk to myself every damn day,
but
and
peep
people think I'm
this.
crazy.
But peep
So
this.
I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy, but people think I'm crazy. But that's the way it is.
King, King, you're not. That's
I
what you're
know.
supposed to do. And the funny
Exactly.
things that are
Yeah.
serious, they take it and turn it into child's games,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
They make it a child game. So it's like they put the truth is there, but they water it down. It's like this slave mentality, right?
But then they flash it in your face
E-
subliminally and all this stuff that
exactly.
they got you watching to taunt you with it
Mhm.
over and over again. They making you look
Mhm.
stupid. All them people that's talking about Beyonce is demonic, they look stupid. What the fuck? Like you just look stupid.
Well, what they calling a demonic?
She's a
They are
witch. She's a
saying
witch, and
that
she's that, and
the
this.
representation that a
Yeah.
lot of the African culture and Egyptian culture that she represents within her videos, they're
Hmm.
saying it's demonic, like it's the Baphomet or whatever, but they're not
Did you
doing
say
the research
Baphomet?
to find out who these
Wait,
gods and
wait.
goddesses are.
You didn't say Baphomet.
Yeah.
Wait, Baphomet is what though? Like,
What is what is
think
that?
about it. Masculine and feminine
Ah,
energy.
whoa,
Yeah,
not Baphomet, the great cosmic mother.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
masculine and
oh,
feminine
no,
energy.
you didn't go there. See, they see everything that is right. They make
Oh.
demonic.
But
I'm
they're
watching that tonight. I'm watching it tonight.
Yeah, man, you talking about not far from me. Great Nana Baruku out of the
but
angels.
they don't. Yes, exactly. That's
That's,
who
that's
she did.
what?
That's who she's
That
Hey,
channeling. Oh,
hey,
it's
Man,
on. Watching that tonight,
hey,
Baba.
yeah,
Huh?
y'all
Baba, but you,
play too much.
Baba, have you ever noticed,
Y'all play
Baba,
too much.
Baba, have you ever noticed, everything around us, King, is noisy? They
Yeah,
don't want us to sit still. You know what happens when we sit still, right?
yeah,
You focus. You focus.
Meditate. We go into a meditative state.
yeah.
Yeah.
Transcendental meditation.
We become more powerful.
I mean, no,
but you can tap into things. You can get downloads if you sit outside in the sun
Sun
and you just
gazing.
sit in a quiet. You can get
Mhm.
downloads from the sun rays. Like that's what our melanin is for.
don't
People
sit
don't
out
even
Mm,
in the moon.
understand that.
Don't get out in the moon and bring down the moon. You ain't seen no thing.
Yeah, the moon is a beast.
The moon
nah,
ain't
I
no
ain't messing
joke.
with that stuff.
The moon is definitely ain't no joke.
Hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean,
I
that's
I
I
I ain't
felt
sitting that
What you say? You ain't gonna do
crazy.
what now? You ain't gonna sit outside tomorrow?
I mean, I ain't going sitting out in the sun like that, but I mean, yeah, I understand what you guys are saying, but
Okay.
I'm cool, man. I ain't doing all that.
I mean,
So
we're in
you're
New
not
I'm
York.
cool, man. I ain't doing all of that.
We're
Huh?
in New York. We're in New York besides Central Park. You can actually go and sit around nature.
Right.
Come on, bro. You got to go to 110th in order to see grass and take your shoes off.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, because there's so many damn
Wow.
skyscrapers and stuff and cars moving about. It's so damn toxic. You
Oh
know,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
but
you hear him say, I ain't doing that. That's called a fear factor. Afraid of the
Why
unknown. Yeah,
why you say that? Why you say that?
because the first of defense was I ain't doing that. You don't know what you're gonna do.
It's a
hey,
You don't know
it's
what
a
you're gonna
Uh,
defense
uh,
mechanism to protect himself
do.
from
no,
feeling and
no,
looking a certain
no.
kind of
I'm
way.
just no, I'm just saying I'm not I mean, I understand what you guys are saying, but it's just for me, I won't do it, you know. I mean,
Don't ever say
hey,
that. Ever say that. Just say you might not, hope you don't have to because life was what will present you a challenge. The power will make you do it.
hey, he gotta have a Rich
yeah,
Lamar moment.
Yeah,
Moses
hey,
said he wouldn't
Mhm.
do
hey,
a lot of stuff, and he ended up doing it.
and like I
You
There
know
you go.
what's
There you
hey,
go, Queen.
shoot.
That's right.
Well,
That's
well,
right.
I agree with you on that one because
program
a
in.
lot of things I say when I was young, I never was gonna do, and I ended up doing it. So that's the truth. I'm not gonna block you from that. That's the truth.
hey
You
Kamar.
know,
Uh,
Yeah,
yes, sir.
because
Hey,
you're
here's
still
a
alive and you're still living, you're still moving, and life gonna present challenges on a day-to-day basis. You gotta be prepared to deal with it. So you gotta learn how to bob and weave, bro. You nigga stick and move. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I
hey,
know.
hey, hey, Bobby, you know what's funny? Like, um, I'm not picking on you, bro. I love you, by the way. But I used to run like that until Source give you a swift kick in your ass. No,
mhm.
because we like Jonah. Let's talk about Jonah. Jonah's mindset was like, "Yo, I'm not going there."
I'm not
hmm
Right?
going to Nineveh.
Mhm.
Nope, not
Yep.
doing it.
He got
That's
I ain't
right.
he
going
got
in no
he
Let
got a
them
swift
fools
goddamn
save
Nineveh.
themselves.
yo.
They don't need me to tell them nothing.
He got a
That's
swift kick
right.
in his he got a swift kick
You're
in the
right.
ass. He got a swift kick in the ass. I did that as well. I had a near it's I had a near death experience, bro. Like this was the
Mhm.
stupidest thing I could ever done as a I was 15 at the time. I was on my first job. And there was ammonia in something and I was cleaning up, you
Mm,
know, and I don't know where the thought came from, but like, yo, smell this.
mm-mm.
Mm.
When I said, bro, when I smelt it, it felt like a gunshot to the head. When I said every mucus within my body came out, my
Oh
eyes was
man,
bloodshot red. I couldn't breathe. I almost died.
Wow.
damn.
And
What did
and and all I heard was, it's not your time yet. Go wash your
Wow.
face and come back.
what
Mm.
did you
Wow.
smell? What did you smell?
Ammonia.
Oh,
Ammonia.
Ammonia.
The voice,
um,
the voice within me says, it's not your time. Go
Yeah.
wash your face.
Shit.
See what I'm saying?
Ooh.
So the
Yeah.
things we run from are the energy we take on or the programming from other people throw us off course. But once you're on that frequency, you
Yeah.
can't run and hide from it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Once your eyes start opening, you can't unsee it. As hard as you
Exactly.
Hey,
may try, you can't run from
hey,
it.
hey, I don't want
Yeah.
to be blind, so I want to see. I don't want to be blind, so I agree with you
It's
Yeah.
on that
just
one, Kareem.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
and seeing goes many different ways. You
Yeah.
see
Not
with your
just the
frequency.
physical. Yeah. You
No,
Yes.
see within.
no, no,
Yeah.
no. I totally understand what you guys are saying. I don't mean it.
Hmm.
I don't mean it that way. Like, oh, I'm just gonna see like naturally. I know what you guys are saying spiritually. I know. I understand.
And I'm gonna mess
Okay.
with you. And I'm gonna mess with you. You're not
Okay.
standing on the bridge. So what are you understanding?
The
You
bridge.
overstand,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. More of a stunt, man.
Yeah.
See it? All right. See
More
it?
of a stunt. More of a
See
stunt,
it?
man.
See
Yeah.
it? You're not on the bridge. So don't understand nothing. Um, but yeah, mindset.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mindset.
We've been talking about the
Mindset.
mindset, how you been programmed. You know.
That's it.
Here's
yeah.
Hmm.
here's the thing,
I
Kamar.
like what Queen Kenya said. It's coming to church. We're born with gifts. I have the gift of discernment, the prophetic
Hmm.
gift. I've been when I came in the world with it. Some say you're born with a veil. You see spirits. No little stuff like, well, so I see dead people. Well, I see them too. You know, and
Hmm.
Hmm.
I was able to
Really.
tell people in the church when I would prophesy to them. I could read them like a book. They won't know how I could
Hmm.
do it because I read your aura. I read your energy, right?
Exactly.
And I could see
Hmm.
that you couldn't see because you were blind to your own essence.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Say, Baba, what you mean you see dead people, man? Nobody dies.
Yeah. I
But
don't
Walk
know, Baba. I
see,
don't know,
okay,
Baba. I don't know about no dead
you
people,
wanna
Baba.
walk you wanna walk that
I
one
like,
don't
back?
know, man.
let me say this: I will see spirits by the spirit.
Jesus.
Put it
I
like
don't
that.
know about
Uh-huh.
no dead. I don't know about no dead
Spirits
folks,
without
man.
Well,
bodies.
the
Hey,
movie says
Pichet, I got him
this
back for you,
embodies.
Pichet.
Let me say this embodied spirit. Let me ask you: are you terrestrial or are you celestial? Are you terrestrial being or celestial being?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Talk about that. Talk that talk.
Uh huh.
That's what I want to get into.
Okay, now. Are you
Yeah, there you
Celestial.
go, Queen. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Was that for me or that's for Kimar?
That's Kamar.
yeah, yes, I'm talking about because he's dealing with some things. So and so I'm asking the question: are you terrestrial? Or are you celestial being? Which one are you?
He can't answer that question. He don't know what that is.
But help him out, Queen, help him out, so young man to know where he's at.
He
Go
got to
ahead and hit him,
research that
Kenya.
first before he can answer that.
Oh man.
We're
I,
celestial.
Right,
I,
Kamar? You got to look that up. You got to look
I,
into that, right?
yeah, I gotta look into that.
See?
I don't know what that is, but I gotta look into that. I'm not gonna say something that I don't know,
And
so
it's in your
I gotta
Bible.
look
And I
into that.
wouldn't want you to.
No, you know it's in your
Yeah,
Bible, right? It's in the New Testament where Paul says there are terrestrial and celestial beings. So which one are you? It's
Right.
in the Bible now. It's in the book.
yeah.
It bears investigating, like the sister say. You know.
We're we're
Preach,
celestial.
preach it, brother,
There's
preach
a
it.
lot of representation of what we speak upon in that aspect, Kamar, in movies like Get Out.
Yes.
You ever
Yes.
seen Get Out?
Yeah, I seen Get Out. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not just a form of entertainment. That's that part of that stuff that I was talking about earlier when they throw it in
Hmm.
your face and taunt you with it because they know the
yeah.
truth.
That's not right.
Yeah, but that's what they do every day,
But
Hmm.
that's why they
even
call
in the media.
but that's why they call themselves the illuminated ones, right? Because they know the
Right.
secrets you don't. They're studying you and it's a secret.
Yeah.
Perfect example. If you go into like you ask, I work with a couple masons on the job, and the degrees, the 90 degrees and the 360 is the actual woman, her vaginal.
Hmm.
What?
Hmm.
Yes, they worship
What?
the woman. They worship the woman, and
Why
they
wouldn't
even
they?
and
The
they
woman
even
is God.
ask you, and they ask you, do you
Hmm.
they
Um,
ask you, do
I
you
mean,
believe
I
in
don't.
one God? And
Yeah.
I was like, one God, and I started thinking about it. Yeah, I do. It's the it's the female.
That's
Mhm.
it.
You know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
even your pope, bro, like your pope bows to get on his knees and pray to a so-called black woman.
Oh, the Pope.
But that's why they part of. I believe that's part of the agenda. Why they've pressed so long and hard to suppress the energy of the feminine, the feminine
Mm.
energy. That's why they make the Mary in the Bible look a certain way, and they tell the women they got to be modest and cover themselves and all this stuff, because they don't want them to operate in their true power, which is more powerful than
Woo!
them. So they
Go
wrote
ahead,
it
Queen.
so it could benefit
Uh,
them and not
uh,
everybody.
But
wow.
Queen,
but
look,
even
Queen. Queen. I want to let you know that's what we're studying about with Baba on
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
tomorrow. And I'm gonna have to get your number so I can send a link out to you,
Oh,
and
cool.
so you could check it out. That's exactly what we're studying. We're studying about the masterpiece of
Oh,
femininity.
creation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So it's the book that it's one of the books is the Great Cosmic Mother, which is a
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal book, by the way. So if you get a chance to get that, grab that because that is it's a powerful book. But what you're talking about is on point, and what we're talking about. Baba has been, you know, educating us and teaching us and showing us how to study. That's where Nana Baruku comes in. So when that's why he was, I believe if Baba could do a cartwheel, he probably did a cartwheel right there in his living room when you talked about the representation that Beyonce was
Yes.
represented. Yes. And so,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's what we're speaking about. We're speaking about the elevation of femininity and the original stance of who we
Exactly.
are, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Right.
um Pache, you see why I blame everything on women? Let me stop.
You know what?
boy, like, hey,
You know what?
you gonna mess around and come up
But
missing.
look, yo,
That's what's gonna happen.
Baba, you see the setup, right? They didn't hear what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I said that's why I blame everything on woman. Huh? In order
Ah, I
and
got you. Okay, I'm with you
yeah,
now. I'm with you
yeah,
now because
yeah,
the etymology of
yeah,
woman means female slave. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not in her female state. Yeah.
yes,
See?
Right.
yeah.
Got you.
Mm. Yeah, you got me. You got my bad.
Even still.
I'm back now. I'm back now though.
Oh man. But
Mm-hmm.
a Queen Kenya, and another thing that they don't want as well, because it's about survival. Because
Mm-hmm.
once the female is in her balance and her God state, guess who follows?
Everybody.
Preferably us.
Mankind. Yes.
Exactly. So
Hmm.
if she's in her rightful state, the men is gonna follow. The male is gonna follow her.
Because the woman is the leader. The woman is the head of the house, not the man.
Truth.
Booyah.
But the
Damn.
female is the head of the household. The women don't understand
Yeah,
that.
you're right. Let me get my words right. See, I'm still learning. I'm still growing. Let me get my words
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Say
Women
what? Say what?
The female.
the
Say what?
female.
Say
The
The
what?
female.
feminine energy. The
Ain't
feminine
Yes.
energy.
that's the woman that
Yeah.
woman that word mean woman mean female slave. Y'all come on now.
Yeah.
That's what we said. You didn't hear me say it, Baba?
Somebody else called me, called my phone and asked me a question about what something else going on around the community.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He
See,
was
look,
attacking.
I already said it, Baba. I got you.
Okay,
but yeah,
all right, yeah.
but yeah,
Great,
and
great
and
cosmic mother. Yes,
and
indeed.
and and they don't know, a lot of people thinking they're whole. They think they're whole by themselves, not knowing
Yeah.
you become whole when you're
You
with the
have to be.
female.
Yeah.
And y'all heard Farrakhan said a man without a woman is incomplete. He's a mutation.
That's 50%.
He keeps
And
saying
that's
it
Damn.
all the
also
time.
Damn. Damn.
Farrakhan
Hmm.
tells you, y'all, without a woman in your life, you incomplete. You're a mutation.
So
Ooh.
Damn.
and
Damn.
so
that's also like the dark and the light. Because you can't have one without the other. And so many times within society and in religious institutions, they like to focus on the darkness. Like you don't need to be associated with that. You only need to be
You know,
associated with the
you
light. Well, there is no
Mm.
one without the other. You must be both and have that balance. And that's where
know,
people get misconstrued at. And yeah, I just wanted to say that.
that was
but
you, bro. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask a question. In the first essence of life, cosmologically, was the male there? Was just the female there? We're talking
Both.
about mindset. In the
Well,
first conception
Female.
of
It
man,
was a female.
what was there first, male or female?
The female king.
Female.
Yes, sir. It was the female. A lot of
Mm.
folks don't want that. You think you got to have that male that come and fertilize. You got to understand parthenogenesis. You got to look at that. You got to look at ibogenesis, biogenesis, genesis. You got to go through all the processes. I thought
Nature
about
is
it.
a representation of it
I
because
thought
there are a
about
lot of
Hmm.
female animals that can procreate by themselves.
they
Yeah.
That's
they was
Even
right.
the plant.
they was in
Even
captivity, and because of the stress of being alone, they automatically impregnated themselves and brought forth an offspring. Sharks
Exactly.
do it.
Hmm.
Sharks do it. You know, different things do it. So I tell you all the time, you got to watch who programmed your program and go back and check it against nature. If it does not line up with nature, then it's out of balance.
That's it.
Hmm.
and the planet, every
And the now shitting a rug.
we
Yes.
me and Rich call them the middleman. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because how they turn around,
Yeah.
like this was funny to me too. And these are the questions they used to get mad at me about. How you turn around and tell me I have to repent for my sins by myself? Like when he comes down, I have to face him by myself. So what the do I need you for?
Right.
Hmm.
They be saying some stuff and people don't be picking up on it. Like you
They
answering
don't
to your
because
sin.
they don't really realize that they are the sheep. They're the blind and the dumbfounded. The sheep are dumb. Them the dumbest animals. Wait, why you want to be called a sheep?
damn, why you go so
Yeah.
hard on the sheep? The sheep is calm,
No, the sheep
man.
is the
The sheep
dumbest
is
animal. Look, you go to a field with sheep. Why the dogs got to protect the sheep?
man, because they're not aggressive, I guess.
Now
No,
They're
because
not
they
aggressive.
dumb.
They're
they
not
can be
aggressive.
aggressive within a
That's
They
like
community,
dumb.
but
that's
most
like
time a goat can lead a sheep anywhere.
A
a
goat is
turkey.
A
a
goat
That's
can
goat
like
lead
a
is stubborn.
a
that's
A
like a
goat
goat.
is
turkey.
stubborn.
A goat can lead a sheep anywhere. You know that?
No, I didn't know that, but a goat is stubborn
Uh,
as hell.
I mean,
I know
but
that.
so why is the goat so prevalent in the Bible? Everything you
The
got to have a goat for this. Even Islam, the goat in Christianity, the goat plays a role. Except
Man,
the goat. I'm
yeah.
in trucking, and for years they use goats to lead the sheep to slaughter at the slaughterhouse. The goat to get wrapped into the gate and he'll turn away, and the sheep
the
walk right
sheep
off
is
in the field.
following the goat because the sheep think he is the goat. He
Uh-huh.
dumb.
You know,
hmm.
Greatest of all time, the GOAT.
Oh
Greatest of all
shit.
time.
Oh man.
Oh man, this is
Oh,
crazy.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
bro.
real though. Hey,
Bro,
Baba,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
was that question? I'm trying to remember how you asked it. You asked me the other day. You asked me about the sun and the moon. How did you ask that question?
about the sun and the moon.
Uh
Yeah.
huh.
What has a major impact on the seasonal change, the sun or the moon?
Mm, on the seasonal change.
the
Yeah.
moon
What
does.
has
Hmm.
the biggest
Hmm.
impact on the
Uh,
seasonal changes, the sun or the moon?
The moon does.
Why?
Huh?
Hmm.
Why?
I don't know that part, but
Okay,
it
because the
just
moon represents the
I
feminine.
think it has to do with the cycles of things being connected with the moon as far as nature, because like the flow of the woman's cycle is with the moon, not the sun.
Exactly. So instead of looking to the
Hmm.
sun, the moon do it, and every 13 weeks the moon go through a cycle, and every time of 13 weeks you got a seasonal change.
Exactly. So
And
yeah,
so
the moon.
the
so
moon controls the character and the nature, the movement of people, because the moon moves the tidal waves in the water, like it moves the water in your body. It has more
So
effect.
if you stay in alignment with the moon throughout the year, then you can flow in greater manifestations. That's what I've been working on for myself, staying in
Okay.
alignment
And the
with the moon.
problem being in
Hmm.
Christianity, they took you off the moon cycle and put you on the sun cycle.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hmm.
Shay,
Yes.
give me Malachi 4 and 2. I got a question. Malachi 4 and 2.
hey King,
Shay, Shay,
is
Shay's the
that why
best.
is that why
She
they
got
say
that. She got that Bible on deck. Come on,
Look,
she got
Hey,
hey,
that
and
look,
you should
Bible
hey,
on.
too, brother, because you believe
look,
in it.
look, I'm telling you, you work with Baba, you'll have one too. I promise you.
Hey Baba,
Yeah.
is that why they called they say everybody like this Christianity is majorly sun worshiping and
Yeah, because they do the first,
Yes.
they do the Sunday, because
Yes.
Constantine changed it from the seventh day to to the first day of the week, the sun, because of the sun, which is the solar disk. But check out, they wrote in the book Malachi 4 and 2, and check how this reads.
Hold on, Baba.
Wait,
Malachi, where is it?
The, fourth,
I
the,
don't know
fourth,
that one.
It's in the Old Testament.
Old
Old
Testament,
Testament.
so that's why.
Oh, I see it. I see it. It's last.
Wow.
Okay.
the 4th chapter, verse 2, 4,
Hold on, y'all. I'm almost there.
Yo,
I'm
dude,
almost there.
the son is Jesus Christ.
Okay. What
Exactly.
watch
Get
this.
that.
Read it.
what chapter? I'm sorry.
The 4th chapter, verse 2.
Yo,
Verse
Verse
2.
I hear verse 2. All
Yeah,
right, here we
yeah,
go. It says, "But unto you that fear, my name shall be the Son of Righteousness, arise with
Mm-hmm.
healing on in its wings,
Is that
Wings.
and
S-O-N or
ye shall
S-O-N?
go forth and grow up as
Mm-hmm.
calves of the stall."
Is that S-U-N or
Mm-hmm.
S-O-N?
Is S-U-N.
Not S-O-N. So it ain't Jesus then, is it?
No, it's not.
This the only begotten son that's in that book is that S-U-N and not the S-O-N.
that's what I just said. So Jesus is the son, and they
No, he's
son
not.
worship.
It had to be the S-U-N, not the S-O-N.
So why do they no, I'm saying he is the son, the
Oh,
actual
yeah,
son.
The
He's a
representation of it.
right.
representation
Yeah.
of the son.
In
Because
the astrology system, yeah, because they are sun worshipers.
what does the son do in every 3 days?
Whoa.
Yo, son.
Somebody went racing through.
Yeah, that's that Brook. There's some Brooklyn streets.
Yo,
So
yo, y'all
every
gonna
three
stop. Yo,
every
man.
3 days, right, Baba? Every 3 days, don't the sun climbs to its highest peak? Because they made it.
Allegedly, we've been taught that, but is that really correct? If it's stable, how is it move? If everything evolves around the sun, how could the sun rise and fall if everything evolves around it?
That's their terminology. We know the
Right,
sun doesn't actually falls. It
right,
actually
right.
goes into the figurative
They
eights.
was
It
trying to
just
change the narrative of
yeah.
seasonal change. They saying the earth draws closer or calls back, but it's governed by the moon and the lunar system, what we should be operating on rather than the solar system. But we don't do that. We're following a sun system.
I can't fight the moon though, King.
They following the sun
I
system.
embrace the moon. I
I'm a
love
Cancer.
Mhm.
you
I
know
can't run from the moon.
because sometimes the
Why
moon
not
goes
leave the
with the
door
sun.
open? You
You
just
look out there, you
opened
got
it.
two big bodies in the air. You got the sun and the moon at the same time. You go like, what the hell? So
Mhm.
there it is. But this is good because we're talking about mindset. Everything we're saying
Yeah.
today deal with where our minds were. Some are more elevated than others, but we all have our area or our path we're traveling, and we're sharing with each other because we're helping each other. Everything Queen is saying, what Shay is saying, what Kamar is saying, because he's a young mind. So
Mhm.
he's the now and the future because as he brings forth a child in the world, he'll have time to sit down and say, now, baby, I've been there where you at, but let it bring you up to speed. So you don't get
Mhm.
caught up in the illusion of life and the grandeur of it. It ain't like that. But unless you've been there, you don't know that. I'm like myself,
Mhm.
I was raised
I
in the
agree with you.
yeah, I've been there. So when I come out, I'm not coming out as somebody ain't been there. I don't walk in that. I walked in that valley in the shadow of death and all that stuff. I've been there, and I preached it to other people. I was the number 10th elect evangelist in the Church of God in Christ, all over the United States. I preached to thousands in conventions and fellowships and revivals.
What happened to your Benz and your on your airplane? You don't
I
have a
did not
private
sell
jet?
my soul. I did not sell my soul for a jelly roll.
Yo, man. You the best, Baba.
Oh man.
I didn't do it. Think about it. I had an awakening in 1973 that turned me around. I guess I turned 29 at
Mhm.
29 years old, and I had an encounter there in Jackson, Mississippi, on West Capitol Street. I was at a revival at one of the largest Church of God in Christ churches in Jackson, Mississippi. And across the street was a big old great shrine or graveyard, a Jewish graveyard across the street from the church. And I was sitting there in the motorhome that I was staying in at the church on the campus, and we had a 3-day and night fast. And Queen, you know what I'm talking about, the 3-day and night fast. You sit in, you don't eat or drink, and you just pray and stay before God and lay on the altar, and stay prostrate. And at 12 o'clock that next day, a voice came in the trailer, like I'm talking now, says, I'm going to change the name. And I said, I got a name. It gave my new name. And it says, Jesus, I don't know. Well, I jumped up off the floor and started, I rebuked it in the name of Jesus. I plead the blood of Jesus against it. So to get out of here, well, here's what you do. It says, when you go home, take the name Jesus, write it vertically, and examine every letter in the name. When I got back to Corsicana, Texas, where I was from, I was shocked because there is no J in the language until 1500 AD. So how can you have a Jesus if you can't write the man's name? And I want you to know that messed me up. It took 10 years for me to get through that.
Yeah, but I mean, man, it's crazy.
That's my testimony, and that happened to me.
I know, but
with me,
you know,
I was by myself. I thought I was losing my mind. And guess what? And that was Friday night. I'm supposed to get paid Friday night. That's like the preacher get paid. I couldn't preach. I couldn't make that testimony. I couldn't preach. Yeah, I could not in blessing service. I couldn't do that night. I'm messed up. Because the very thing I've been using, I couldn't use it no more. Because I go to say it, I couldn't even say it.
Wow.
And that's how they messed me up. And I've been messed up ever since.
man. Wow.
We're gonna conclude the show because I know Queen has a book club she gotta go to. So
please join us tomorrow at 12:30.
No, really.
I'm gonna send him the number.
Yo,
I gotta make sure that I connect with Queen too, so I can give her the number because I think she would really appreciate the class. So, Queen, I gotta get with you so I can make sure I give that information to you.
Since you started off and you got a dip, go ahead and give us a summary. Queen, Shay.
A mind is a terrible thing to waste. So, with saying that, changing your mindset is so important because, question everything. Don't just take it for face value and just take it because somebody else regurgitated it to you. Know the value of your thought process and how you are within. Know thyself. Study. Don't be afraid to question every single thing. If you're unsure about it, that means you need to study it even more. Don't take things as face value. Your mindset is so important because it governs who you are as a person. It governs your path. It governs your journey. It governs how you act within yourself and others that surround you. So take that time to elevate yourself. It is important. And your mind is important. Mindset and your values are very important. So don't waste it.
thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Queen, is she there? Queen Kenya.
I think so.
Baba, go ahead.
Go ahead, Baba.
I have to piggyback off what Queen Shay said. A mind's a terrible thing to waste, but first you got to have a mind in order for it to be wasted. So check out your mind. Make sure you got a mind. That it's your mind, not somebody else's mind. Watch your programming. If it don't fit the narrative, ditch it and start all over again. So, because to lose that concept of yourself, you try to be somebody else. So by all means, protect your mind with every fiber in your body, because your soul lies within your mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Kamar, go ahead, King.
I just want to say, man, thank you guys for teaching me something new. Every day I'm on the show, I learn something new. So you guys have been a great experience to me, and I love that. You guys are my brothers and sisters, so I cherish you guys very well. I respect you guys, and I love you guys. So let's continue doing this and let's get further. And you guys are the best.
Aw.
Gratitude.
Queen Kenya, you wanna go next?
She
Okay.
must have stepped away.
I think she probably muted her mic or something.
Oh,
I
there
don't
Can you
know.
she
hear
is.
me
There
now?
she is.
I can hear you now.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a little trouble, technical difficulties. Um,
Uh,
I was just going to say that the mindset important for today for me is making sure that your mind is authentic. Um, Going along with everybody has already said and spoken, to be able to be in a position to think for yourself and be able to set aside those things that have been impressed and imposed upon you. A lot of what we believe or have within our mindsets, even up
mhm,
until this day of our lives, come from other interjections of other people, from other things that they believe or they have within their mind. So the important thing is to really be able to focus on what's in your mind, what's the truth, what's the authenticity of your own mind outside of those things that have been told to you, sold to you, impressed upon you, and imposed on you. Outside of all that, what's in your mind? Start with
right,
that mindset.
right.
That's good.
And for me, I say sit, meditate, and through meditation you will elevate. Um Understand yourself, and I'm speaking from experience. I went through this. I also used to
I'm going back upstairs.
listen to what everybody used to say and ingest it, but what I realized is that I'm taking on other people's energy and that's not of me. And I've got lost in between everybody else's vibration versus my own. And
Mhm.
what I started to realize, the more I became who I was supposed to, because you are who you are before you got here, the more you'll start to see who flows with your vibration. You'll have
Mm,
people telling you, oh, you've changed, you're not the same.
yep,
No, it's not that you have
Mhm.
changed, it's just that they're no longer on your frequency,
There you
exactly.
Right.
go. That's it right there.
right?
See what you're
Mhm.
saying.
And what I've learned is that ingesting has more, power to it than just eating food, because we ingest every single day, whether it's sunlight, whether it's nature, through your ears, your eyes, your mouth, and so on, your skin, and so on. You have to see you first, and I get killed for this a lot of times. I hear parents saying that, oh, I have to put my kids first, and so on and so forth. But
Mm-mm.
how can you forget yourself? Because if you're not standing within yourself, you cannot guide that reflection which is yours. So
Mhm.
you are
Mhm.
the important one. A kid can't take care of themselves. Just inner over and understand what that really means. Love yourself more
Right.
Mhm.
and be the god that you are. Stop looking outside of yourself, because it's not going to work. And I yield with that.
Uh, I guess
Yeah.
what they mean. I guess what they mean when they say they put their kids first. I guess that's the love that they got for their kid. I don't think they probably necessarily mean like they put their kid first. I
how
guess.
can
I guess it's just the love. I guess.
how can you have love for your kid but you lacking within yourself?
Mhm.
That's a tough
Mm-hmm.
question.